All right, loving the shirt between the bear to me.
Yep, of course. New album. Have to.
Yes,
I got my vinyl and everything already. Cause
they're one of my all-time favorites as well.
yeah, I heard so much because I watched some channels and they were talking about colors and like how that's like the best thing ever. And I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I have to see this. And then they announced they were coming here to play Colors 1 and 2 fully. So I'm like, okay, well now I'm gonna go see it. And that was like a
Incredible.
life changing event. And those Colors might be my best favorite album ever of any band.
Yes, the Colors DVD video
Oh
is just absolutely legendary.
yeah, magical. I just like how he introduces it too. He just doesn't say like, "Hey, we're a
Hmm.
multi-band. We're gonna play an album." No, "Hey, we're between a bear to me. This is Colors," and then that's it, and then go.
Yep.
So cool. Even with Dusty out, I think the new album was really
Yeah.
solid.
I I saw them in Vegas when they were doing the Parallax 2 tour.
The
And
original one or the new, like the recent one 2 years ago.
the original one. Yeah.
Nice. Did they do it in full there?
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah, it was when they first released Parallax 2.
I'm so mad I missed that. The one where they came back recently, because
Yeah.
that's right when all the allegations for Dusty came out. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to support you yet. Maybe I
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah.
But whatever. I got Colors, and then I got Coma, Ecliptic, and then I got Alaska recently. And then I'm seeing them next week. I'm
Nice.
actually seeing them the day before I drive up for you guys.
Hell yeah. All
We're gonna
right.
see.
Well, that's a tough act to follow.
Oh, don't compare. Don't compare. Just do your works. I'm also seeing 9 other shows that month, so it'll be all right.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff lined up. I mean, I'm seeing Dream Theater in 2 days, so that also will be good.
Nice.
Anyway, so sure you've noticed this is not like a formal anything. There's no like thing I gotta follow. There's no like boring script. This is very open ended. It's basically just discussing influences, stuff that
Sure.
influence your playing, influence you as a person, influence what you write, etc. All that stuff. So
Yeah.
kind of like just starting out, just kind of want to like shoeball this into like kind of what you grew up listening to and what that kind of shaped into what you like now.
Yeah. So let's see. I started playing drums in the fifth grade and got super involved in like school music programs. I was always a band kid, always into that kind of thing. And I learned to read music that way, and I think probably my first like rock influence was probably, well, I had an older sister, and of course, I would always like listen to music with her, and so like whatever she listened to was what I was listening to, and so like the earliest memory I have of that kind of thing was like probably in the second grade, where I got the one of the Linkin Park albums for Christmas on CD, and I also got she would always play like songs on the computer, and I remember like Evanescence, and she was also big into like Cradle of Filth. So I remember being like 6 years old and listening to Nymphetamine by Cradle of Filth, and that was a huge influence on me. So like that, like I've always loved Cradle of Filth, and so then I think in like fifth grade, I was really in like an AC/DC phase. I still love AC/DC. I think they're great.
I do too. I love them.
And but then like I think getting more into like some of like the mainstream metal influences of like there was Slipknot. I used to, anytime that she was gone, I would always hop on her computer and watch the Spit It Out music video like over and over and over again. Like and so like Slipknot, and then I had like an Avenged Sevenfold phase. I was really into the Rev. Um and um that's when I started like, so that was probably like 14 years old. And that's when I started getting into like playing in bands with like my friends in high school. Like um I got into like, I had a couple friends who were pretty good at guitar, in like kind of like the metalcore realm. So like we had this kind of like metalcore band when I was like 15 years old, and they were called Beyond the Meridian. So there's still videos of us on YouTube. So and yeah, that was like my first like, like self-formed metal band. And again, like I was always into like high school jazz band and marching band, symphonic band, pit orchestra. That was kind of like the bulk of my like performing during that time. Beyond the Meridian never played a show, so we just played in our garage. And um so yeah, and then right around that time too was when I started getting into a lot of like hardcore music. So like um I started going to like shows at our like local dive bar, and this was all in I grew up in like the Sacramento area. I um i uh i went to high school in Rockland, California. So all the shows that would happen in like the Roseville, Sacramento area was kind of like where I don't know, got my got my experience doing that. So it was pretty formative. You start going to like local hardcore shows, and like it's just, I don't know. I think it's a good way to grow up, I think.
I guess it's a
You
perfect
know?
way to grow up. Yeah.
And so like I was into a lot of like the Ghost Inside, and there's this band called Your Demise that I'm still love to this day. And like British hardcore, and I couldn't believe that they like came all the way to to Orangevale, California. Like um D's Nuts, another really great band. So yeah, I don't know, I was pretty shaped by a lot of like the small deathcore hardcore shows. Like I remember being 15 and seeing Whitechapel for the first time, and like nearly dying in the pit, like just like the Acacia Strain is one of my all-time favorite
Oh,
bands.
that's a lot of
So
those.
just,
Yeah. Love
yeah,
that.
Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah.
So I got to hang out with so Black Dahlia Murder, Job for a Cowboy. No, no, they weren't with Job for, yes they were. I can't remember. Yes. Black Dahlia Murder, Job for a Cowboy were on tour together. I think Whitechapel might have been too. Um, but I remember my sister was good friends with the dudes in Black Dahlia and Job for a Cowboy, and so they needed a place to crash while they were in our town, and so they actually came. Job for a Cowboy came and crashed at our house, which was absolutely insane.
That's
I
amazing.
remember I was 16 years old, and I was getting ready to head out to school, and I'm like walking down the stairs, and like Charn is just like sleeping on the couch. I'm like, holy shit. So like that was crazy.
Wow.
Um, yeah, there's this video of Charn playing Unfurling a Darkened Gospel on YouTube. That is like one of my favorite drum videos of all time. Um, it's just like I feel like that video influenced like my love for Yamaha drums, like just because he's playing Yamaha drums, like and just the way that he hits so hard, and like playing like controlled blast beats, but just hitting so damn hard. It was like just in the tone of his drums. Like that's one of my all-time favorite videos. um Joey Jordison, of course, is probably like one of my biggest metal drumming influences of all time. um and so yeah, I'd say like as far as like metal drumming goes, like Joey, uh, uh, the when Charn was in Job for a Cowboy, um, Black Dahlia Murder. Those are some of my all-time like top influences. I Once I graduated high school, I started touring with the Drum and Bugle Corps, surprisingly not on percussion. I was actually playing contra. So basically, like a for anybody who doesn't know, is like a essentially like a tuba, but it's a bugle, so it sits up on your shoulder, and it's like kind of like this big bazooka thing. So um, it's not a sousaphone.
Very different.
Not a nerd. No, I'm just kidding. But, um, no, but and so I toured for 4 years with Sacramento Mandarins, drum and bugle corps, playing contra, and that was like the best, one of the best experiences of my life. And just got to see, like, I've been to like most states, performed in like huge stadiums, and just that was just incredible. So, but I was always influenced heavily by like marching and like drum corps stuff. So like even when I was on tour and I wasn't playing percussion, I was still always like jamming out on a practice pad and like hanging out with like percussion dudes, and just kind of doing that thing. So I don't know, that's a big part of my life. And did that obviously till I was about 21. Well, you age out when you're 21. And so I moved to Las Vegas when I was 21. And I think I was, ever since then I've been very on and off with music. Like I was just playing like independently for a little bit, and then I joined this band called the Shogun, and it was very like alternative, kind of proggy fusion stuff. So it was some very niche stuff, and we played a couple of shows, and I love those dudes. So there might be a couple of videos on my Instagram somewhere from those guys, but yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And but didn't really play any metal stuff while I was in Las Vegas. And then I moved here to Fruita, Colorado, and just started like I was really just focused on my work. So I manage a funeral home, and um, from that point, it was in, let's see, had to have been probably about May or June of 2024. I was just scrolling Instagram, and I came across some Borne of Execration videos, and it was just them playing in their bedroom. And I noticed that, like, the music was really sick. It reminded me a lot of Black Dahlia Murder, some of the riffs, and I noticed that they didn't have a drummer in any of their videos, and so I hit them up, and I was just like, "Hey, do you guys need a drummer?" And so they're like, "Yeah, actually, we're looking for a drummer." And they had their first two shows already booked at that point, which were in July, June, I think June and July. I think, no, yeah, July. It was in July of 24. Um, so they had already booked the first couple of shows, but they were going to do it with just tracks. And so I joined with them, and like kind of auditioned or whatever. And I don't know, it was more just to hang out. But um, yeah, and then like basically with 2 weeks of rehearsal, played the first show with Born, and like a trailer park backyard barbecue type show. And then the rest is history. I mean, we've been playing shows pretty much every month. Like, we've only taken a couple of months off the whole time, but we usually book one or two shows every month. And I love it. It's really, really fun. It's like we've gotten to do like some of the coolest stuff that I've ever gotten to do just through doing that. And I'd say Bourne is pretty heavily influenced by like a lot of Black Dahlia Murder, a lot of Gojira. Um, Barrett is, he's into a lot of like very kind of shredding death metal. And um, like Josiah is into like a lot of the more like darkened stuff. Uh, Wyatt is, of course, into just about everything. He plays in like 20 different bands, and like, so he's influenced by everything, but he's amazing. And so yeah, it's just it's been a really cool experience and just a cool group to be with, and they're just super chill. There's like no drama in our band, which is really cool. Like everyone is just, we show up, we do our thing, and we hang out and laugh afterwards, but it's been like one of the coolest experiences, and I'm really thankful for those guys.
Dude, it's sick too, cause like I thought you guys all formed a band together. I didn't know you actually auditioned for it, and that was so recent too. I did not know
My my audition was, I showed up to their bedroom, and I had my kick pedals on a practice pad, and I brought a practice pad with me, and I just literally jammed along, and like that was it. Like it was, they're like, okay, you can blast, we get it.
that. It's fine. You know what you're doing a little
Like,
bit. But that's the vibe too. Like such small bands like that. It's just like, hey, dude, just if you're passionate and just want to play, just do it. And if you want to do it, show us you want to, and then that's it. And then
yeah,
the rest is good. That's the best part about those smaller acts. Um, and some of the best vibes and shows you could see are at like middle of nowhere, backyard, whatever's. Like, and that's
yep,
the best part about growing those scenes is just playing in those spots and just growing them over time. Um,
yeah.
and that's yeah, dude, you've like talked about everything I already had written down, which is fantastic. So nice. Really a lot of cool stuff. I gotta jump around here. Um, Kind of like fading into like I was gonna plan to weave this in a little later, but we're already at this point, which is great. It's
Sure.
talking about like smaller locations because obviously in Colorado, like Denver is the hotspot for these shows. I mean, we're one of
Yeah.
the biggest cities for touring acts now, which is really awesome for me because I keep giving them my money. But in other locations, like even the Springs has a bit of a bigger show, but like Fort Collins, Grand Junction, obviously, and I know there's stuff in Vale. They have venues, but they're tiny. So, kind of what I was kind of leaning towards was like, how do you see building up places like that to have more of a pull or like have a bigger scene locally, and even like trying to get some bigger acts. Like I know Suffocation went through. I was there,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
those are kind of one and done moments. How do you see like building those up, like kind of building like the scene?
So about growing and building a local scene, and kind of like where this scene started. I mean, I've only lived here since 2020, so I know there's people who can speak to, who can better speak to like what it originally was, but since I've been in it, there's been massive growth. I mean, just and that's mostly thanks to our friend Lloyd with Desolate Productions, who puts on all these local shows. So it's just a thing where it takes, you got to have somebody who's going to be kind of the lead organizing in getting these shows done. But what I've seen is that he wears so many hats. He's a great leader of like, as a person. He deals with so many bands in a very personal way, and he's like not a jerk at all. Like he's just so nice and like welcoming, and he's always willing to give bands like a chance to see what we can do. And so like that part can't be overstated how important that is. But then like bands, I think it's the bands within a scene, it's kind of your responsibility to where you have to be good stewards of the scene, like volunteering at shows to just do like security. That's what we do here, is like you know Lloyd is just one guy, but like he's got a group of people behind him who can help with those pieces to make the shows work, and we look out for each other, and we we try to be, we treat the venues well, when they give us a chance to play there. It's always like being respectful of the space, um and just being, trying to be easy to work with, like nobody here is like divas about anything. It's just like we're here to make art and music and express ourselves, and like that's a privilege. it's like not a right. And every day that I get to do this, I'm like so grateful, and we try to be mindful and weed out the people who are not being cool. And it's just I think that's how it grows, just really organically, and um as far as like Born specifically, like we've always like we focus on trying to be professional when we show up to play a show. Like, the times that we've gotten to play like theater and stuff, like, you know there's there's a lot to be said for being like quick on the stage and quick off the stage, not being too annoying to deal with. Not make sure we're on time to sound check and load in, and all of that kind of thing goes a really long way towards getting called back for shows. And when it came time to like book the Suffocation show, like we had played Mesa Theater twice by that point. And we tried really hard to sell pre-sales both times, and did decently. And um then that Suffocation bill came up, and the way that all evolved for us was, so I'm in two bands. My other band is Diced, and they basically landed Diced on the Suffocation bill, because Diced is like a slam band, and metal history, slam basically came from Suffocation. um, Suffocation accidentally invented slam in the 90s. So I think it was naturally fitting to have us on, or have Diced on the Suffocation bill. And after we got word of that in the group chat, I hit up Wyatt and I was just like, dude, Born should also be on the Suffocation bill. And so then Wyatt hit up Mesa Theater, and like they're just like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm in two bands that just both got onto the Suffocation bill. And that was one of the coolest things in like my whole life. Like all performances I've done, that was like top level. Just that was an amazing night. So, and like to get to play with bands like um Suffocation, and then like go home and sleep in my own bed. Like not having to grind out like the whole tour thing. Just like it was just magical. Everything about that was just magical.
Right in your backyard. It's just, hey, the guys are here. Let's just go hang out and jam. Like that. That was,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was the vibe too. That's why I like smaller places like that. Cause like you go there, like I went there and there's like I was used to Denver, so I go there. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be packed and it's gonna be a lot of people and it's gonna smell awful. But it's like no one's there. Not in the sense that it was empty, but like in the sense like it was just the community's different. The people.
Yes.
So, like I met the guy from one of the, I think guitarist in Irinox was there, and I just met him and
Hmm.
chatted and just said hi. And it was, I never knew that. That was awesome, and I just got talking to everybody, and they were just so personable and kind and caring. It was
Yeah.
so cool, and that's what I like about shows like in those places, especially in the Springs too. Not all the time, but a lot of the time you just meet people, and it's just like the nicest groups on the whole planet. Whereas something in like a bigger city, maybe less so personable. Besides like the friends you make
Hmm.
because it's so packed. Um, there's definitely exceptions. Like I just saw Carcass 2 nights ago, and everyone there was probably the nicest dude on the entire face of the earth. But maybe a
Yeah,
little
that's the
drunk.
funny thing about metal is like it's all about being like scary and imposing, and like just but then like you meet the dudes and you're just like, oh, you're just like a huge nerd just like me.
Yeah,
Like 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 it's what it's all about, and that's why I love it.
yeah. I because I got that when I think it was Wyatt who reached out to me when I was about to drive up, and I was just like, oh my god, did the band just message me Well, like I had to do like a triple take. I was like, no way. And then it was just cool. It's just like that never. I mean, it might happen in other genres for smaller bands, but there's just something so personable and just lively about the community space in metal, especially smaller, more technical genres like this. Like
Hmm.
stuff like this doesn't appeal to like big mass anything. So this really is just about drawing community and drawing nerds like us who love this stuff, who
Hmm.
go home and put on a Lorna Shore album and go, yeah, I'm calm. Like that's like that's the vibe, and that's why I
Yeah.
love it so much. And that's what's so cool about that show in Grand Junction, that Suffocation show too, because that was the only time I've ever been up there ever. So to have that as an experience of just that's my vibe at the place now is
Yeah.
always so
And there's only going to be more. I mean, we're on the up right now. So
yeah.
it's, yeah, the Grand Junction scene is growing. It's thanks to, some really special people on the scene, and we're just riding the wave and really glad to be a part of it. And I always just think of good stewardship. You leave things better than you found it. And I think that's just that philosophy in and of itself alone is what keeps this going. So,
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I really don't think there's no metal scene or any of this kind of style without personable, like charismatic people. And even if you're not like a talkative person, just being kind, showing respect,
mm,
and just caring for everybody is key. I mean, that's what this
yeah,
whole thing's built on. Um, so even if we still all get the stereotype that like we're mean assholes who hate everybody in the world.
yeah,
We may hate some things about the world, but who doesn't? Like we're all here to like forget
yeah.
that, just kind of push it aside and just have fun and connect, and that's what grows stuff. 100%
Totally. And like when my time with Sacramento Mandarins, they're such a formative organization, and it's really just about transforming youth and just teaching the principles of respect and like I said, good stewardship. And so like they it was a super important thing because they had a team of volunteers who would feed us every day, and you go through the food line, and it's just basically like core core members' parents and stuff, and like you say thank you, like like just simple as that, like and you leave, you leave the bus clean and don't leave a mess, and like you don't do anything that hurts the facilities that we're rehearsing at. And so like that stuff was so instilled in me, and I still carry that to like the music scene this day, like these days is like, when I'm sound checking at Mesa Theater and they're helping me get set up and whatever, and it's like, thank you, thanks for helping me sound good, and thanks for letting us do this, and you thank the venue for letting us have a show here, and like it's just those principles go so far in just being a band that people want to work with again. And it's like also managing expectations too, and my experience with Born is very I don't know if like hedonistic is necessarily the right word, but it's just like it's purely for the pleasure of getting to play music that I like with people that I like in places that I like. Like it's I'm not trying to make Born famous or like it's literally like I love what we're doing and the way that we do it, and the more that we get to do it the better. Like you know so when you start bands with expectations of like, okay, well, we're gonna write an album, we're gonna get in the studio, and then we're gonna promote the hell out of it, hopefully we can get on a tour and we get signed and all that stuff. You set your expectations so high, and you're just gonna be miserable the whole time, because like the reality of achieving those expectations, it has to be tempered. It's just it's like playing football and thinking that you're going to get in the NFL. The chances of that are like slim to none,
Yeah.
and it would make you hate the game, but I feel like it's like, you know we're just playing, pickup games of it's like pickup basketball. It's just for the love of the game and nothing else. And so that's what makes it so meaningful to me, is just like, it's for the love of playing drums and playing music that I like, and I really love the music that we play, and um it's like stuff that I would listen to anyway. And so all of that just makes the experience just so much greater to me. And so that's what I like about it.
Dude, I mean, I think I've been waiting for someone to like say this because this is like exactly it. It's like number one thing of my thinking is like I don't like it when bands clearly are trying so hard to push something, to be an image, or not in the sense that like something they love, but like clearly for sales, clearly for attention, clearly for
Hmm.
it's inauthentic. The authenticity of a band, like I don't I don't think members in like Dream Theater, I mean they sell out stuff, but like Haken or Between the Buried and Me, like these proggier stuff too. I don't
Hmm.
think they play the music because they expect to go into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a mansion and like buy nice cars. No one.
Hmm.
That's not. You do this. You do this because you love it, and if you're
Yeah.
passionate about it, that's gonna come through because you're excited to do it. You don't just do it simply because why not, or because you
Yep.
want to show
Yep.
off anything. You do it because that's authentically you, and
Hmm.
that's what drives it. So when I see so many bands too, like up and coming, that are like trying to social media stuff of like posting a ton of videos and like trying to like promote the hell out of something and just really push for it, it just comes off as a little like force. It's like, okay, guys, let's reel it back a bit. All you have
Yeah.
to do is be like, this is what we do. I love this. Please go to a show. We want to share that with you. And that's the
Hmm.
whole point, sharing the love with people. Because
Absolutely.
otherwise, you're never gonna go to a show. That's why something like Between the Buried and Me is so cool because it doesn't feel like the band like going, "Here, look, we're so awesome, we're so awesome, we're so awesome. Please like us." It feels like, "Hey, we have a great album. It's cool. Please buy
Hmm.
it. You don't really have to, but do it, I guess.
Right.
Go to the show and we'll have like fun." And it's like, "Oh, that's it. Great." And that's
Yeah.
how they sell stuff out. That's when you're authentic, it pushes you forward more organically and it's not this forced sales garbage, kind of like not to rag on any bands, but this new President band is just 100% that.
Yeah.
Just we're different except we're not. Here's how cool we are, and we're already headlining. We have two songs. It's like that doesn't come off as organic, like it doesn't.
No, not at all.
And there's no personable community there, especially it doesn't matter
Hmm.
where you're doing that in, but that's I love that point so much. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And then like the other part of it too, I mean, and I'm primarily speaking for myself, but like, um, you know, to have something like this for me is really important in my life. Like before I joined Born, I was in this cycle of working, and I was really just sucked up in it. I mean, like, just, I felt as though my identity was being morphed into solely my work, and it was kind of soul crushing. I mean, like, I love my work, I love what I do for a living, but it felt like I was losing a piece of me. Like, there, it's just everywhere I go, I'm kind of a funeral director everywhere. And um to have gotten to be with Born now, like, it gives me a place where I can just go goof off with the guys. I can just kind of be my stupid self, unfiltered, and just really nurture that side of me, the side that has always, like, that's always been who I am, just growing up, and it's been very therapeutic for me, because my line of work is tough in a lot of ways. And um so it's just having that there has just been like, just so important in the last year for me. Just mental health wise, it gives me something to look forward to every month. It's like when it's just it, and it gives me something to share. A lot of my coworkers are into it too, and so, like, it's given me an identity besides my work, and or giving me my identity back, I should say, because that part has just been really, really good for me. So
And you were saying too, you grew up with it too, so it's with you. I mean,
yep.
I'm maybe it's just because I've only been a metalhead for like 5 years, but I'm still heavily in the belief that once you become one, it doesn't just leave. You know, like there's a
Yeah.
you have other things, of course, but like this is like a it's the community is strongest with this. So that part
Yeah.
that's important too, because I know a ton of people in this scene have to work on the side. They have to do other things. You can't just
Hmm.
rely on this. It's just not that simple. As nice as it sounds, it's only so rare, um, or only so common to have that happen. So to balance it, to find ways to do it, and find like a means of being happy doing it, and that again that brings out authenticity. It's like I love this. I can't get wrapped too much away from it because I want to do it, and that's what makes me happy. So absolutely, I 100% agree there too. It's a big part, and it's something I want to do too when I eventually I finally get off my ass and start writing shit.
You will. The stuff that you're writing or that you're playing is so sick. I really enjoy your stories.
Thank you. It's really nice. I love posting them. I just come up with something stupid. I'm like, okay, why not? Yeah, I have a capo on the second fret. Sure, people are gonna look at that and go, that's dumb. That's nice. Thank you.
Nah.
But yeah, that's the whole point too. Is like I'm not sharing that to like look how cool I am. It's not that. It's like this is cool. I'm a nerd. I hope someone finds that like cool and goes, hell yeah.
Yes.
That's all I want. That's all I want, and that's what I feel like most bands want too. Is just someone to look at that and go, that's sick. I like that. That makes my day better. That's to me. That's the whole point. And I think
Yeah,
we share the same thoughts on that.
absolutely. And so like, some of the stuff that we're working on in our scene is like, I'm trying to work out we're doing a like a locals drum clinic here because again, it just all goes to growing it organically in the sense that like we've got a few really good drummers here in town who are all in like multiple bands. And I think that we've got enough of a following with all of like, the kids here that they show up to our shows over and over and over again. And I think putting a spotlight on the drums, because I went to like drum clinics when I was younger, and like, I got to see Matt Halpern and JP Bouvet and Mike Johnston all they did a Common Thread clinic tour. And that was like the coolest thing to like, because Periphery was another one of my top favorite bands. And I got to, like, just with the lights on, just up close, see them play, and then talk and like just talk about their music was like so humanizing. And I was just like, literally, my drum hero is just another person like me. It was, so like that was just so cool. And so like what I want to bring is that to like our local scene, and that like, these kids show up to our shows, they like what we do enough to keep coming, and let's just shed the spotlight on the drums for a minute, because ultimately if that inspires another kid to either pick up the drums, or if they're already playing the drums, to like just form a band, like just start a band and figure it out from there. Like, if like you think that like, oh, like I don't know if I'm good enough, or like I don't know, like just like screw all that, just like make a band and figure it out, and nobody judges you, nobody cares. Like, the fun part about heavy metal music is that like, if you mess up, nobody really knows or cares, like you just like that's that it's the reality of it. And the thing is just like, the more drummers you have in a local scene, the more bands you have, because there's always just a shortage of drummers. It's and the more bands you have in a scene, the more shows there are to play. The more shows there are to play, the more opportunities you get. And it's just, that's the cycle. And so that's what we're trying to do right now, to kind of, again, just grow our scene a little bit, and just get more kids into this, because that's that's where it all starts. That's where it started for me and everybody else I know. So
Yeah, I mean that's where it started for me too. I heard I don't even remember what I heard. I think I heard my dad's like, oh, you like instrumentals? You got to listen to Orion by Metallica. And I put it on. I'm like, this sucks. And then 2 years later, I'm like, I'm an idiot. And it switched really quickly. And the Doom soundtrack for those games for Mick Gordon's 2016,
yes,
that got me into metal. That was it.
hell yeah.
Then I listened to No Remorse from Metallica, and because it's at Doom's Gate, and it's been 5 almost 6 years of like
Mm.
3 million bands from there on out, and a really unhealthy amount of vinyl, all sorts of stuff. And that's how you rope it in. It's just getting
Yeah.
anybody, especially younger people. That's so important. Is getting youth to hear something and just go, you might like this, because they don't got anything else to worry about. They're just here to have fun. They're kids.
Yep.
You're gonna show them
Yep.
something, and that might be awesome to them, and then they might want to pick up an instrument. That's why I was playing guitar for like 3 years at that point, but I was playing classical stuff and more acoustic, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then I heard "The Day That Never Comes" by Metallica. I'm like, that's it. That's all I want to do. And yeah, that's how it starts. Something so simple is just showing them it and just
hmm
trying to get them into it. Like some of my best memories ever are just walking during the lockdown, nothing to do, going on walks, just hearing metal songs come on and going, this is the best thing ever. And just over and over and over and over. It's just, that's how it is. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get like the youth into it, because they get inspired so easily. They get so emotionally attached so easily in a good way.
hmm
And
hmm
especially the media, like games and shows, movies, and music especially. And eventually they'll find what they love. So to get more people into what they want, and the metal too, it's awesome. And then they go to shows when they're like 12, and that's even cooler.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the best part.
Yeah, we get a lot of like some like band members or other bands have kids who are in the pit. I'm like, hell yeah. you know I'm tearing it up.
Or like a 6-year-old kid with his headphones on his dad's shoulders, just like kind of rocking out. I see that all the time in Denver. It's like every single
Yep.
day. I see it, and I see it at the most unexpected shows. Like, for God's sakes, I saw a 78-year-old grandma at Meshuggah going in the pit. It's like, what? How do you know? That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Gray hair and all, and they just go in the pit. It's like
Yep.
this. It's a drive. It's an energy. It's a passion, and that's the whole point.
Yep.
It's not just some niche that like, oh, it's fun to listen to some dude scream for like 2 minutes. It is, but like, it's not just that. There's more to it. That's what's sick. It's
Nice.
um, yeah, that's kind of really all I got. This has been awesome, dude. Seriously, thank you so much.
Have you thought about starting a podcast?
I have a lot of times. One of my favorite things is review channels and like ranking.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just love them so much. I don't know what it is about like my autism brain, but like I love it to death.
Yes.
I have tried to do it in the past, and I try to get my friends roped in on it, but they don't. Sometimes they're like, I don't know if I can talk about like records like that, and it's like, oh, come on, just do it. It's fun. I love doing it.
You should. I've seen your stuff, and I've thought like, damn, he really should start a podcast because
Maybe I will. I mean, it'd be fun. I like talking. I'm sure you've
it,
noticed. So.
well, even if you just started off with like Colorado like local metal bands, if you did this with like more bands in Colorado, and then expand from there, I think that'd be super sick.
Should do that actually, because there's a lot of local bands I know. I'm gonna, yeah. That's gonna be in the mind. I'm gonna do that, dude. That'll be so cool. And it'd be nice too, because then maybe I can promote it to my campus and get more. Personally, I think there needs to be more metal on my campus because there's not enough of it. As I've been desperately trying to get specifically drummers to play stuff with me. It's so hard to find someone who is willing to. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, dude. That because
Hell yeah.
it's so fun to talk about this. That's all I do. I listen to a
Yeah.
record and I just talk about it forever to myself about how much I like them. I'm speaking to no one, but I love it. Yeah, man. I again, I really appreciate this. This is so awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, and I'm really pumped to see you guys in like a month again, and to go up finally with a friend too, because Lauren is gonna be there.
Yep.
Thank God, because I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to rope in a friend to drive up because that got really depressing at night driving alone.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Well, we appreciated having you at the Suffocation show, and it's going to be super dope to see you again at the Halloween show. Where I'm right after this, I'm going to head over to practice, and we're working on our Gojira set, and it's coming along really nice. So I think you're going to be really, I think you'll be pleased.
I'm so pumped. Gojira is one of my favorites. I've seen him twice, and incredibly too, my mother, who was never like too much into metal, just like sent me like, "Have you listened to Gojira? Holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the right answer." Dude, I'm pumped. I've been yearning for like a Gojira headliner since I saw them with Mastodon a few years back. Um,
Nice.
Best shit ever. So heavy. Ah, I love it.
All right, dude. I'm gonna. Was there any other things that we needed to hit?
That was it for me. We hit way
All
more
right.
than I wrote down. This is like the best thing ever. Seriously.
Nice.
Thank you so much again. I really appreciate this. I know you're so busy, so this means the world.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna head over. We're heading into practice now, so
Well, good luck. I'll see you in yeah, actually about a month from now.
yeah.